Thanks for tuning into my YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to be talking about 5 stocks that I think are going to be a great investment for the month of June. And the reason is right now we're having some issues again with the tariffs. We still haven't come to an agreement. The president has just said recently that China's broke the current agreement that they had. So there's going to be a lot of uncertainty. And with this news coming out, it is going to impact the stock market. And this makes an opportunity for you to invest in it and get stocks at a better price. Now, my videos are going to be mainly about long-term investing, but today I'm going to talk about how here could be an opportunity for long-term and also for those of you that are interested in short-term. Because I know some are not interested too much in long-term and they want to know a little bit about short-term. So I'm going to talk about some plays that I think you can do that could potentially make you some money short term and also long term. But remember, this is just me sharing my opinion, sharing my thoughts. But if you watch the video to the end, you found it helpful, let me know down in the comments below. Don't forget to smash the like button if you enjoyed the video and you made it to the end. And also, if you can subscribe, I really would appreciate it. Now, let's get into it. So we're in June. Like I said earlier in the video, we got some news coming out. And anytime there's news that's going to talk about tariffs or anything about the market, it's going to impact stocks. But we also have some news that's going to be coming out. I believe this Friday we're going to have the jobs report. So if that ends up being good news, stocks will go up. Next month, the feds, they may cut rates, right? So we have, and if we get some news about a trade deal happening, right? All this will impact the stock market in a positive way. So right now we are getting news that's not so positive and it's going to impact stocks and they're going to start to go down until we get positive news. And I'm going to talk about 5 stocks that I think you should definitely check out that could definitely be great to add to your portfolio if you already have stocks. If you don't, and you're thinking about getting some, this could be a great opportunity to start that brokerage account, move some funds into it, and these could be some potential stocks that you can end up picking up at a good price right now. Now, remember, always do your homework, but I'm going to go ahead, share the screen. All right, so I'm going to make it simple, right? You can do this. I'm going to do this so simple so anyone can do it, right? If you have access to the internet, you can go ahead do this on your phone. You can do it on your, desktop, laptop, however you get on the internet. And you can go ahead and go on Google. So one company that some of you may not, may have never heard of, some of you may be familiar with is NVIDIA, right? The chip maker. It's a company that I think in the future is really going to grow because I think AI is going to be big in the future. So this is a great opportunity to start investing in it. But this one, I believe it's a great opportunity long term, but you can also make money in short term. So if you're like, hey, I'm not too interested in long term, I want to just focus on short term, or maybe you want to do both, here's an opportunity. So NVIDIA stock. The reason I go on Google, I want to pull up this chart. And I know there's other ways to look up the chart. I'm just doing it simple. And we can see that it closed on Friday at 135 and 13 cents. After hours, it's down already. Okay. So one thing we can look in the last month, we can see that within a month, the stock went from 111 all the way up to 135. So when we were getting, a lot of news about tariffs and a lot of uncertainty in the market, and there was a sell-off, there was an opportunity for you to go ahead and buy NVIDIA. Sorry about that. To buy NVIDIA. Now, if you were like, yeah, I just want to hold it for a short term, you could have picked it up at 111. When you saw it go all the way up to 130, 135, when you see it do that big jump, you could have went and sold all your shares. You could have sold some of your shares and put some profit in your pocket if that's what you're interested in doing. Now, if you're a long term and you bought at 111 and you saw it go all the way up to 135, I wouldn't buy more at 135. I'll wait for that pullback. And now that pullback is coming, it looks like, right? And if it does start to go down, let's say it goes down under 130, if it goes down under 120, I would definitely, at least me personally, start buying under 120, start adding to, your NVIDIA shares if you have NVIDIA. if you don't have Nvidia. I believe under 120, if you can get it at that price, I believe it will go back up. Now, this is my opinion. Again, there's no guarantee, there's a risk, but I think if you're able to get Nvidia under 120, I think it will come back up to 135 and further by the end of the year if we get some rate cuts, if we get some good news. Now, if we don't if we start to get no rate cuts, if the economy starts to get really bad, then there is obviously a chance that this is not going to go back up to 135. We can go, a lot further down. But I think things will get, good news will come after we get some negative news, and I think it will fuel the stocks back up. So I think we're going to experience a little bit of dip, but I think it's going to go back up, and that gives you an opportunity to buy at a good price long term, or even if you're like, hey, if you see it go down, watch it, buy it, and if it goes up in a month or two, boom, you can sell it and take your profits if that's what you choose to do. Now, some of you may say, well, is there any other ones? I did say five, so the next one we're going to talk about is Amazon. Everyone should probably be familiar with Amazon. Now, I believe Amazon, it's a great company. I've invested actually in Amazon about 4 years ago. So I've held and I'm a long-term investor in Amazon. I believe it's going to continue to grow, and I believe the stock's going to go a lot higher. For those of you that are newer to stocks, Amazon, believe it or not, used to be a stock that traded over $3,000 a share. The reason it's at 205, it did a stock split, and that's why you're seeing it where it is right now. So imagine if you would have invested earlier on, it ran up to 3 grand, does a stock split, you would have more shares now, and you keep holding on to it. If it does another run up, you're definitely going to be building your wealth. So that should be a goal. But again, if you're like, hey, I'm just interested in a short term, there's an opportunity here too. Because if you look at the 52-week high on Amazon, this stock was at 242. I believe it will get to 242 again and pass that. When that, I'm not sure. But right now it's at 205, so it's under the 52-week high. We're getting some news that's not going to be so positive. So this is an opportunity to possibly pick up Amazon under 200. I think if you can get Amazon under $200 a share, it's a great opportunity that will go back up to 205 and past that, and you can make some money within, short term, maybe a year, sorry, not a year, maybe in a month or two. Now, again, that's if we get positive news. We don't know, when we're going to get a trade deal. We don't know if Feds are going to cut rates, but I am reading articles that they're thinking there's a possibility that in July we may get a rate cut. There is some rumors going on that may be a case, and I think that will be good news for the stock market. We've been wanting a rate cut. We're looking forward to a rate cut. So if we do get a rate cut in July, I think will be positive for stocks. Also, jobs report does come out this week. And that's also going to be something you want to keep an eye on, because this is going to affect the stock market, especially those who are going to be are looking to make money in stocks short term. Now, if you're a long-term investor, none of this is going to face you, because if you're planning to sell Amazon, in 10 years from now, Amazon, in my opinion, it's not going to be at 205. It's going to be a lot higher in 10 years from now. So if you're like, hey, I'm not too worried about making money short term, I just want to start buying into good companies, I believe Amazon's a great company. I believe it's going to continue to grow. And if that's the case, you can buy any time right now. In 10 years, in my opinion, it will be more. But definitely go ahead and do your homework. Another one that I'm going to jump into that I think is a good one, it's Uber. A lot of people have Uber apps on their phone. They use Uber to get around. Uber is a good company. It's growing, right? To me, it's part of the future. If you need a ride or anything, you just go on your smartphone, you go on the app, and boom, an Uber will pick you up. So Uber is a great company, in my opinion. I believe it has a lot of potential to continue to grow. And right now it's at 84. I wouldn't buy it at 84 if I'm just looking to do short term on it. I think that with the news that's coming out, I think it's an opportunity that's going to go under 80. So that's a good opportunity to buy it, and I think it will reach 100. Now, will it do it this year? That I don't know. But its 52-week high is $93. So it did get close to 100. It will, in my opinion, if depending on what happens to the economy, if we get some good news with a trade deal, if rates go down, if we start getting really positive news like that, the market's going to go a lot higher. And for those of you that doubt me, just remember this video. If we get good news, the market's going to go a lot higher. So if you're a short-term investor and you get this under $80, let's just say 75 bucks, and by December we get we get the trade deal by then, rates do go down, things start to look better, then you got a great opportunity to have made a good amount of profit within a few months. Now, again, if things go sideways, we don't get a trade deal, tariffs get implemented, they're crazy tariffs, then the economy could get affected negatively. We can go into recession, and then stocks are probably not going to be doing well, and you would need to hold on to it long term. But that's why it's important whenever you're investing in the stock market, only put money in the market that you can afford to lose, or you can leave in the stocks till to see what happens, because I wouldn't want someone, let's say they only have $5,000 saved up, take their whole $5,000 and put it in the stock market and lose it, or see their money tied in the stock market for a long time. So if you're looking to make some money, make sure you're using money that you can afford to lose, that's some extra money if you're looking into short term. Now, if you're doing long term, make sure it's money that you can invest long term. That's money that you know, like, hey, I don't plan to use this money for anything right now. I'm looking to invest today and make profits 5 years from now, profits 10 years from now. Then remember, use money that is not like your rainy day fund money and things like that. So try to be responsible. Make sure that you do have some money set aside for emergencies and things like that if you're getting into the stock market. And when you're investing even long term, you want to use money that if something happened to you at your 9 to 5, if you work a 9 to 5, things like that, that you have money set aside for those emergencies, and that the money that you're investing long term is money, is extra money, right? And some of you may be saying, well, I would like to invest in the stock market long term, but I don't have that extra money. Well, then you got to think about doing some side hustles, right? So I don't know who's watching the video, what are your circumstances. I'm going to assume some of you are watching, have a 9 to 5. Maybe some of you don't even have a job. Maybe some of you are already investing in the stock market. Some of you have not. So it could be many, a lot of different situations when people are watching these videos. However, you're making money, if you're making money, if it's not enough to invest long term and you want to invest long term, then you gotta think of what can you do, right? Is there a side hustle you can do? There's many side hustles you can even Google to get ideas. I would recommend trying to start a side hustle so you can have an additional source of income, and take that additional money and start investing long term if you want to invest in stocks long term, right? So you can start building some wealth. Now, if you're someone that maybe you have a job and you make bonuses and you want to take that money and try and make it a little bit more short term, there's opportunity right now when markets are going down. That's the opportunity you want to buy, especially if you want to make money short term. Because remember, the market's dipping because, hey, we're getting negative news, right? So everything's going down. It's not because one particular company's doing bad. It's just, hey, we're getting hit with all this news that impacts all the companies. So everyone's going down. So when we get positive news, they will go back up. Now, if you're looking into a company and you see that the stock's dropping because the CEO quit, or their finances are a disaster, there's negative news about the company, I would stay away. But right now, what's happening to the market, we're having sell-offs, and you'll see the red days. All basically, you'll look at a ton of stocks and they're all down. They're all down because of the news that's coming out about tariffs and things like that. It's not because the company isn't doing well. So when I just see all, red days, I look at that as an opportunity to buy some of my favorite stocks. And a lot of times I'm investing long term, but if I did want to invest short term, because I do get asked, hey, how about short term? These are opportunities for short term, because when we get positive news, it's going to go up. When it goes up, that's when you would sell if you're trying to do short term. So I think Uber could be one that will be great for short term or long term, depending either or, whatever you're interested in. What's another one? Google. Google's a great company, and I'm sure everyone that's watching this video is familiar with it. So let's go ahead and look at the chart. And again, a lot of these companies I'm going over, these prices that you're seeing, some of you may say, wow, $172 for Google. These companies used to be a lot more, and they've had stock splits, and you can go ahead and Google all this stuff to verify yourself. So that means at one point in time, this company went a lot higher and it did a stock split because they wanted the price to come down so more people can invest in it. Okay. And what happens to those when there's a stock split? What happens to you if you were a buyer early on? Your shares increase. Your value won't go down because of a stock split. They'll just give you more shares so your value stays where it was. right? So then if it goes up, if it goes right back up, you'll make more money because on the run up this time, you're going to have more shares than you did before. So it definitely is great when you buy into a stock early on. It ends up becoming a really large company. They do multiple stock splits. You see your shares really increase and they keep running up. Gives you a great opportunity to build a lot of wealth. A lot of these companies, if you would have invested when they first IPO'd, some of these companies would have made you a millionaire with just $1,000. So just keep that in the back of your mind. The stock market can be powerful. Just like it can make you a millionaire, it can also make you broke. So you want to be careful when you're investing and what you're investing in. So I wanted to throw that out there. But Google right now, it's at 172. Its 52-week high was over 200. I see Google being over $200. I think the reason it's going down again is because of the media. We got tariffs, we got all this uncertainty. So that's really bringing the stocks down. And I think with this recent, I know if you look at May, we've had a good May for 2025. Usually May is a weak month for stocks, but we had a great May. But now we're in the first week of June and we're starting off the week with negative news. How is this going to impact the stocks? We're going to be in the red. How much are they going to sell off? I'm not quite sure. It all depends on the news that comes in. This week's going to be important because of that jobs report, but this could be an opportunity to get Google under 172. If it starts to drop, I think it's a good buying point at 165, and I think eventually it will go back up to 200. But even if you're like, hey, I just want to do a short term, I don't want to be in it that long. If you get at 165 and you see it run right back up to 172, that's a $7 increase per share of however many shares you buy. Right there, boom, you can exit. So you can possibly buy this stock and be out of it next month, depending on the news we get. And you can just go ahead. If you ever go on the charts, you can look at max. So you can see how they go up and down. So stocks do go up and down. And you can even check the 1 month. So 1 month, you could have bought 162 in the beginning of May. It would have dropped all the way down to 152. A lot of people would panic, especially if they're not familiar with stocks, and they probably would have sold here at a loss. Don't do that. Okay. You invest in a company like Google, Google's not going anywhere. It should recover, right? So if you just would have hung into it, even if you would have bought it at 162 in the beginning of May and you saw it drop on May 7th down about $10 a share, if you would have hung onto it by May 14th, you already would have been in the green. At that point, you could have sold and made some money. So I'm showing you this how in 1 month you could have made money in the stock, right? So just keep that in mind. If you're short term, here's some stocks that I think you can make some money short term. And I shared some of my opinions on the buying points. On Google, I think 165 is a good buying point. I think it will go over 170 short term, depending on the news. That's my opinion. Now, another one I'm going to talk about, number 5, is going to be Apple. Probably a lot of you have an Apple phone right now. So Apple, I'm sure all of you know about Apple. If you Google about Apple, there's some news that people think that they're lacking, when it comes to coming out with new products, that they're lacking in that department. And obviously that's not good because you want Apple, to keep coming out with great products. Staying I think in my opinion, they're one of when it comes to cell phones, they're number one. Some people are going to disagree, but to stay number one, you got to keep inventing, right? You got to stay ahead. And if you stop doing that, you're giving an opportunity for another company to come and maybe pass you. And that's happened to big companies before. But I still believe Apple's a great company. I believe Apple, will get things together and go a lot further up. So I'm an investor in Apple. I've been in Apple long term. But if you're looking for short term, I still think Apple's a great company. If you can pick it up under 200, I see it going back to 200 and passing that. So hopefully you found the video helpful. I wanted to share 5 stocks that I think in June will do well because with the news that we're getting right now, they're going to drop. And I think if we can get some good news this very month, I think they'll be at new levels. And if you're short term, you could possibly be making money this month. Long term, I believe you'll definitely make money. I have all these stocks besides Uber. I'll be honest. Uber, I don't have, but I do think it's a good stock. I haven't put any money into it. I do have Nvidia, I have Amazon, I have Google, I have Apple. Uber, I don't have. So I like to be honest, if anyone's watching, but because I don't have it doesn't mean I don't think it's a good company. I can't have every single stock. So I'll tell you the ones I have. I'll tell you the ones I don't have. I'll still tell you if I think it's a good opportunity. I'm watching it. If it goes down, I might go ahead and buy it myself. So if you have questions, let me know down in the comments. If you already own some of these companies, let me know how they've done for you so far. Are you in the green? Are you in the red? Are you a short term? Are you a long term investors? I like to know. So don't forget to leave me some comments down below. If you haven't done so and you enjoyed the video, smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button. That way you're informed of every time I upload a new video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.